Can you, you, あなた can, できる can you, できるあなた できるあなた speak English, can you speak English, speak 話す speak English 英語 can you speak English 英語話すあなたできるできるあなた話す英語Hello, I'm Julian Northbrook from doingenglish.com, here today to help you quit translating everything in your head. Here's a question. Do you keep people waiting while you plan every sentence in your head? Translating word by word by word from your native language into English. If you do, you, my friend, got a problem. But don't worry, because in this video I'm going to share with you the top 3 reasons why this happens. But as an example, let's take one of my students, Lisa. Lisa is a perfect example of someone who has a lot of trouble with translating everything in her head from Japanese into English. Lisa is by no means a stupid person. Lisa is very intelligent, very highly educated. She went to one of the top schools in Japan and her English education was what we would call top level. But herein lies the problem. You see, her English education mainly consisted of study for tests, learning high-level vocabulary and complicated grammar rules. And how did they learn it? Of course, with a grammar translation methodology. They learned by translating sentences from Japanese into English. And if the translation wasn't perfect, they were punished for it with bad grades. So basically, she spent years being trained to take complicated grammar rules, difficult vocabulary, translate from Japanese into English in a way that meant if she got it slightly wrong, she would be punished for it. She practiced thinking in Japanese. She practiced translating everything in her head to English. Not only was the things she was taught, the grammar rules and the vocabulary, not particularly helpful for speaking in a fluent communicative way, because that's not how native speakers speak, but the methodology, the way she was taught, was also pretty much useless for building up any kind of practical skill and being able to understand and speak language fluently and automatically in the language that you are using. This, of course, begs the question, what language should she have learned? What would have been a better way to go about learning the language so that she could think and speak directly in English? This is where my new book comes in. Think English, Speak English. How to stop performing mental gymnastics every time you speak English. In this rather short book, I explain to you exactly why mental translation happens. Why you end up thinking in your native language and translating everything slowly and awkwardly into English to produce sentences that sound strange and unnatural. And I show you how to break those habits and how to start thinking directly in English so that you can speak fluently, naturally, and automatically in your conversations. If you've got that Kindle Unlimited thing, you can read it for free. Check the link in the description. At the beginning of this video, I said 3 reasons why mental translation happens. If you haven't got Kindle Unlimited, it's about £2.99, depending on where you are in the world. The third one is a little bit more complicated. It is something that in language science we call activation, and this is to do with how much exposure and how recently that exposure has occurred to English that you have had. I'm going to make a separate video on this because it's quite a big topic, but I do, of course, talk about it in detail in my book, Think English, Speak English.